Hello people of the world, I am Personified Fear and welcome to a very, very special update for Bunny Black! Holy shit. So, basically, I have stopped recording Bunny Black for the very specific reason that I suck. And I completely stopped playing the game because I wanted to understand exactly what it was about this game that I really needed to understand, because something just felt off. I felt like something about this game just felt off to me when I played it, and I could not figure out exactly what it was. So the file that you're actually seeing here, this isn't my file. This actually belongs to the save I'm actually playing right now. Doesn't belong to me. It's not one of like the 12 saves I made, dicking around with every little possibility that I possibly could. This is the save of the person who allowed me to use a save file to dick around with everything. Kiriga Kazuto, I hope I'm saying your username correctly. He gave me his save file not too long ago and basically said, here you go, if you want to dick around with something, I can let you use my save and you can have fun with this. So I've been playing it on and off. Whenever I got the chance, if I wasn't playing something else, I would start playing Bunny Black to get a feel for the game and actually understand what it is I'm doing when it came down to the battle system and when it came down to like what missions I should do and all that junk. And to be perfectly honest, I wasn't that far off when I said that there was something just really off about this game. I wasn't too far off with that, and the thing was that this game isn't first time friendly. This is the type of game that you will have to restart over and over again just to get your bearings and to understand it, I guess you could say. There are things that I did complain about that the game really didn't tell me, but as some people have put in the comments of the previous videos, the game does tell you eventually. They just don't tell you when you think you would get that information, if that makes sense. You would get the information later on about how certain dungeons work and how certain missions work and how certain classes of monsters work. They tell you that later on as you're playing the game and as you're getting used to it. But by the time that you're probably playing it and doing it, you've already more than likely restarted your file or made a new file to play around with or something like that. That's the general thing about this game, and it's not a bad game, by no means. This is actually pretty fun. With my time that I spent with it making like 8 different save files, I've actually had a ton of fun with this game. The problem is that you suck. You fucking suck in this game, and they let you know. So I've actually figured out like the route I want to go in the game. I've played around with different builds of darks that I could use and whatnot. One of the interesting things though is that because this is a new game, because when I would start a new game, it would be considered New Game Plus. I'm assuming because he already beat the game. I was given like a couple of his monsters that I could use on my team, and I did use them to make things a little bit more easier, but on certain files I didn't, just so that way I could get the feel of how I should go about things, because when I start recording this game again, I'm not going to be using his file, because I think that would be cheating, because instantly when I start a new game, I get 2 of these walls, 2 of these fairies, an orc girl that he has right there in the back, and they're all like level 50 something, while Darks is at level 1. So I think that would be cheating, and I don't want to do that. I would rather, you know, start anew, start fresh, and just work my way up to the status of me not sucking, and me being actually able to play the game as it should be played, I guess you could say. You being an overpowered bastard with tons and tons of monsters at your beck and call. So yeah, I've gotten used to it a little bit more. I kind of think I know what route I should take. A lot of people have given me different tips on what they think to be the perfect build, or what they think is the best type of build. And after digging around with a lot of them, everyone really, if you look in the comments for people who were giving me advice, you would see that everyone was saying, you know, put like darks in the middle or up, either in the middle section or in the top section of the party screen here, and then have like two, either if you have darks in the middle, you have like an entire section of really beefy characters like these wall guys or this golem thing, if you could ever, when you get the chance to afford them. And you know, they would have them, those guys there, darks would be in the middle, and then you would have like a fairy in the back, some slimes maybe, depending on, well, probably not late game, but early game you probably have like a bunch of fucking slimes or some shit. You know, a lot of people have given me that, the general tip of just, you know, this type of setup right here that you see on the screen. And yeah, sorry, I'm sick. So if you hear sniffling, I'm sorry, that's me trying to actually, you know, talk. But yeah, they would have that type of setup, and then when it came down to what darks would be using, everyone said have darks mastered within swords, because swords seems to be the best type of thing. And they weren't wrong. Swords really do seem to be the way to go. Because I tried out like using spears and bows, going with darks using all magic. All magic, like if you have an all magic build for darts, it kinda works, but magic is limited. You actually have a set amount of times that you can use magic, and that's the real problem with it. And that's also the real problem with ranged weapons as well. They are limited. You can only use them a certain amount of times before, you know, everything just goes. So yeah, that's the real problem with it. And if you're using a sword or a spear, you can use it as many times as possible. The thing about swords though is that they seem to be the most overpowered thing, because I just did a skill there. You just saw it, a skill that basically attacked everyone on the fucking field. And the spear and bow weapons, they all get this too, but the sword weapons seem to be the strongest. At least I think they are. It feels like they are. Because that it just wipes out the entire fucking field using that one skill. I don't know, swords just feel overpowered as all fuck in this game. But hey, I don't know, maybe that's just me. I'm not sure. But either way, yeah, they say use darks with a sword or something like that and have them in the middle. And I've tried the all magic darks. It worked, but my resources were limited, especially when I didn't have like an extra team of walls or something like that. A lot of people also, for early game purposes, have recommended grabbing stuff like a bunch of heal slimes, because they are extraordinarily cheap, and they are. Like getting a bunch of heal slimes on your team, or just a bunch of random goo type monsters, because they're the cheapest thing that you can buy, and then later on saving up to buy a fairy, so that way you can actually see where you are on the fucking map, which is really dumb, by the way. That should be just I think that is a normal skill that you can get without the fairy, but if you have the fairy, there's no reason to put any points into that skill. And I forgot if you can get, I don't know if you can get that skill later on as you level up darks, or if, you know, that's just something that happens, or as you move up on the tier of up the ladder in the, you know, Demon Lord's eyes or something, and you get that skill to actually let you see yourself where you are on the field, on the map, you know, like you can when you have a fairy on your team. But I think that is a skill that you do get later on. It's really dumb that I'm pretty sure it's not unlocked. I'm pretty sure you don't get it immediately. I think you do have to level up darks, or move up the ladder in the Demon Lord's eyes, and, you know, whatever. It's dumb that that's not just a normal skill that you could put points into right off the bat. Because that, or if it's just not something normally that you would have. I feel like you would know where you are in comparison. So if this is a big ass fucking map, you should know exactly where you are. I feel like you would know, but whatever. That's water under the bridge. What else was there about this game? There were a couple of hints that I've gotten that I have tried out for early game purposes, and it really did work out. Some people did say that I probably shouldn't, that cleaning missions are really kind of way to go for getting easy money early on, but I really should try to expand myself to doing some of the later missions, especially when I do get a good team of monsters. And one of the questions that I had did actually get answered by someone. I asked what was the entire monster, why is it that whenever I would encounter someone on like one of the early floors, how come they were so much more powerful than me? Apparently, each level here also, it'll say when you go into, you know, pick a mission, it would be like on 1-3 you need to do this. Apparently, even though this is the first floor, that sub-level, which is 3, that's where stronger monsters are going to be there compared to 1-1 or 1-2. So you need to be aware of that when you're picking your missions. You need to know exactly how strong your monsters... You need to be aware of what number, the sub-level, what sub-level you're going to be on comparative to everything else. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm not making sense half the time when I'm speaking about this game, because there's a lot to go over. There's a lot that I feel like they don't tell you early on, and because of that, you basically find yourself in a somewhat dire situation, because you can't, because there's a lot to explain, but there's also it's easier if you play it for yourself and you get the feel for it, rather than actually trying to explain it. I guess that's basically the way to say it, because trying to explain, you know, some of the strategies that I've tried and all that stuff doesn't really make sense when I'm trying to express out, like, yeah, you know, I did this and this and this, but I feel like I'm not wording it in a way that will help anyone understand what the fuck I'm talking about. This is definitely a game that you really just need to play. You just have to play it in order to understand what the fuck is going on. And yeah, that's basically it. But Buddy Black will be coming back relatively soon. There's still a couple of extra builds I want to try out and see how well they work for stuff in the long run, because the magic builds, it works, but the problem with the magic builds is strictly because you only get a certain amount of whatever magic that you have, and because of that, it's you can only do but so much with it. And so yeah, it's not that great. Magic for late game purposes isn't really that great, especially when you don't have much when it comes down to using it. And then I tried the range build. It worked, but once again, it's limited. So I guess I'm more than likely going to end up doing a sword, something similar to what Kazuto here has set up for himself right now. This is probably what I'm going to. This is probably how my build is going to end up looking by the time the game ends. I feel like this is what it's going to be, which isn't bad. It actually works out very well. It's very well rounded. I don't know, but this guy definitely knew what the fuck he was doing. I guess by the end of it, he figured it out, while I was still, you know, trying to understand what the fuck even was everything I was doing. But hey, whatever. So either way, ladies and gents, I just wanted to give a video about this to say that, hey, it's not dead. I'm still dicking around with stuff. I'll be back to it soon. Just that I really want to keep playing and understanding exactly what the hell it is that I'm doing. Alright, so I believe I've gone over everything. Hopefully I've gone over everything. If I did miss something, then oops. But either way, ladies and gents, thank you guys so much for being patient with this series. You'll see it probably the next time I get a chance to record, which might be for like another week or so, maybe, I don't know. By the time this goes up, it'll probably be like November might be starting by the time this video goes up, I want to say. So by then I might have already started to do another session of Bunny Black, and using my newfound skills to show off exactly how amazing I am at this game now, which isn't very amazing at all. As you can see, I'm getting my ass handed to me by this Grand Dragon, or Half Dragon as it's being called, because I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just using magic haphazardly and everyone is dying. Yeah, see, everyone just fucking died right there because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Either way, ladies and gents, thank you guys so much. Bunny Black will be back soon, and yada yada yada. So, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and yeah, I will see you all later.
Zam.